Hey guys, welcome to the channel, Sonny here, and today we are back finally with an updated gear guide for 2025 and the release of Idania. So I've been waiting to make this until we had all the information needed to give you guys a correct, long-term viable gearing guide. Now, at the making of this video, there are not on garments.com the Idania armors and sovereign offense in. As soon as they're added onto the webpage, I will update them. So they will be on the actual link that will be in the description. But for this video here, when I'm gonna go through them, I've done the numbers. I'll tell you guys the numbers when we get to them, once we get into the new gear. But we'll deal with that when that is, but you can always just check the link and I will update it once they are in this. But we have all the stats, we have all the numbers. So let's get into it. We start the guide when you come off season. If you're a completely new player watching this guide, you start on season, always make a season character. You get your pin Naru gear, then you convert it into Valor gear and you upgrade that to a full pin set. At least for now, there is also a reward when you get level 60, where you get a pin boss armor at the end of the season, plus 2 sets of full Ted gear, boss armors and all, right? So that's factored in for this for now. And if stuff changes in the future, we'll make a new guide. So this is going to be probably your season gear. You got some monster AP artifacts, just some raids in it, filler, whatever it is, right? So you'll be able to get 4 pin capotias, I believe. You will get 1 on your login as a new player. You'll get 1 for completing season. And you will be able to get 2 by using these upgrade stones. One of the pins you're going to be getting by doing fishing. Just do some overnight fishing in Villia. It's great money as well. Plenty of guides out there. It's great. And then 1 more on, I think, the white tab. So that's why we have 4 pin capotias. We got the pin gear. We're good to go. So this is right out of season. Quick note here. I've put in both an awakening and succession path. As you can see, it's just different weapons. Order of you're doing it. And after that, it's pretty much the same all the way through. I have some notes up here. Check them throughout. There's some really important information in these notes. I will cover them here in the video though. So you come off season and this is pretty much going to be your gear straight after graduating season. So first you want to do your Aether Stone quest line. You do that in Ulukita. You can find it under recommended quest. You don't need gear even though Ulukita is a high-end zone. You don't need to be killing mobs out there. You can do this right out of season, no problem. You get this, it's 1 sheet AP, it's awesome. Next up is you're going to be getting your pin armor by getting level 60 on season, plus a pin armor from doing the Magnus quest line. And you're also going to be getting a pin black star from, again, I think it's level 61 or something. You should have it by now, and also a Ted black star. Then you want to work... Other the next items you work on is going to be a deck to Valor weapon and also making a deck to Valor necklace for converting it into a Karasat. Quick note here. Before you select your pin armors from the season reward and also Magnus, you're also going to be getting 8 pieces of boss gear, 2 times full set, right, of Chet. You take those armors and you roulette them on 100 to like 150 stack that you probably got some rewards. You just roulette it and you tap them all. And if one of them goes pins, great, now you got a pin. And then you don't select that one for your season rewards and the boxes that have selectable pin armors. So make sure you roulette those pieces of gear first, and then you open the boxes, so you might actually end up with a full set of pin gear. But for this guide here, I'm just going worst case scenario and it didn't succeed anything. You still have a big stack and now you have some tri-armors you can put on alts if you want to. And this here is just for the awakening version. If you're a succession, you choose the pin black stuff in main hand and you start working on the deck to Valor for your awakening. If you're awakening, you choose the pin black stuff for awakening and you work on the deck to Valor for your main hand. Next step here. This is going to be... converting your deck to Valor to pin. You finish it off, right? You get this one here, and you do a bit of Caphras on your armors. You should be getting 3,000 Caphras stones from doing your Fuga quest line, 3k Caphras. You start working on those, and I would recommend. Prices might change in the future, but right now the sheet AP is so good on distortion earrings. They are very cheap, they're insanely good, and it helps you hit the 310 AP that starts giving you the +8 monster AP per AP faster. So they're very good and they're easy to transition out of. And also they have a guaranteed value by being able to turn into dawns later if you can't sell them. Right. So here, at this point, it's very early now. This is a big change compared to previous guides. You want to finish off your Giga Batali journal. They are moving, and by the time you're watching this, they have moved all the sheet stats into the Giga Batali journal, so you only have to do that one journal. You might have to do the Saka quest as well. There might be like a few out there that you have to do, but that's not journals. They're very easy to do. You want to finish all those off at this point here. Then you also want to look into crystals. Check out my guide. You can still be using, you don't have to go full BIS PvE, but you want to start transitioning into the cheaper crystals in your full PvE BIS build. And for tankiness, if you need more tankiness here, which you probably will, Kabuas, great. They're like 4-5 build a pop, insane PvE stat value, and it allows you to not need to go pin armors for a long time. So that's also something you should be prioritizing, and then getting a good Lightstone combo. All right. Now, I do want to talk a bit about this later in terms of the crystal, the gearing. There is a couple of options, but this is my general recommendation. There's always exceptions. So you could also go for Karasats if you don't want to do Distos, but I think Distos are going to be worth it now with all these changes coming. All right, next step here. You are now you should probably get a Khan's Heart. It's going to give you one more sheet AP. To get a Khan's Heart, you can get it for free, guaranteed, after killing the boss 3 times with a quest. Join a guild, merc out, try and see if you can just get this. It's super easy. And then you also want to start working on your Karasats. You get, here's the order as well. I got the order of the upgrades listed in the notes as well, so make sure you check the notes. And get your cups right. Try rings and a belt. Then you go for the pin necklace. You already have the Tet from the deck Chavala, right? And then you get Tet, rings, and belt after. So try rings and belt, pin neck, Tet, rings, and belt. And over here, next step. This is a big step. There's a lot of stuff happening here. So this is where I go like the big upgrade time. With the previous gear, you can grind a lot. Right, so first off, focus on what you need. You have the Kabuas. You should have enough tankiness to grind a lot of grind spots. With that, if you feel like you need more DP to grind comfortable, you have enough AP, then start working on your armors before more AP, right? But at this point here, you are looking to aim for this level of build, right? So what is this here? Pin boss armors, you want to go into the Fallen Guard gear. You can either C10 the pins you have, depending on prices of Caphras. Currently, they're max price when I make this video. I think already in a week's time, they're going to be crashing, so they might be very cheap, and it might be a very viable option just C10ing, getting a flame, and upgrading. But check out the prices, right? You could also just choose to buy if that's cheaper, but you are looking to get like at least 3 pieces of Fallen Guard gear, and then also work on your Sovereign main hand. At this point here, you actually want to transition into a Sovereign weapon already. It's super good value, and I will link this. I know you guys will be asking about it. We do have a spreadsheet here. Shout out to Bevarcan, link in the description, of the actual cost value. Now, there is some things to know about this, is that it doesn't factor in making the items. It just factors in the upgrade cost. So there's an additional cost in getting that pin black star, etc., etc. But I've accounted for this in my build, so you guys don't have to worry about it. So this here is the level of gear you are aiming for. It's going to bring you to 700 gear score. Kind of fire. And of course, you want to keep working on your crystals and get your Karasite crystals as well. If you can't afford the gens, get bonds, right? And then transition into gens. The next step here is a pretty big one as well, right? BIS crystals, sort them out, definitely worth it right now. And this is when it starts getting really important to getting a Vel's Heart. So at this point, previously, right, when you get your Sovereign weapon, you are going to be over the 310 AP. That means every sheet AP is going to give you 8 monster AP on top of it. So that 1 AP is actually going to be super impactful. And quick note about this, it will be a requirement later on, unless we get the 1 AP DP from the journals that Korea have. it will be a requirement for you to be able to do the first boss in Idania at a reasonable gear level. So, right, here, prioritize the pre-order on Vel. Make sure you do Vel all the time. Getting a Vel's Heart is a very important upgrade at this point here. Next up, then you are looking at more upgrades. You want to go Hex Necklace into Pin Ring plus Belt. Then you want to Sip the Necklace, and then you want to Pin the Sovereign Weapon, and then you want to upgrade the Offhand to Pin. So I know this is a lot of upgrades, but there's the order of them here, so you just do one at a time. And of course, you want to do the armors as you see fit, depending on your DP needs, right? When it comes to the choice over AP versus DP, ask yourself this question. Will more DP allow me to grind a better grind spot? If the answer is yes, then you get the DP. If the answer is no, then you still work on AP until the answer becomes yes, right? As soon as you have enough AP to move on, well, then get the DP. Other than that, like, you will benefit from the AP on the current grind spot and more silver. Right, and now we get into the big leaks. This here is the big jump up. So when in the future, I will update this here to include the Sovereign Offhand. So I put on the Maneuver, so to indicate like the stats on the Sovereign Offhand. This right here will get you Idania ready. And by Idania ready, it's 350 AP and 427 DP sheet. And this is a hard requirement to start doing the boss Jordine. And you need to start doing the boss Jordine, which is the first boss in Edania, as soon as possible, because he will be dropping your weekly upgrade stones for the Idania armor, which is going to be a giga long-term bottleneck. So even though with this gear you can't make Idania armor, you need 10 armors, get the stones rolling as fast as possible. They will be a hard bottleneck for you in the future, so get them going right away. This is why this is the big goal to get into Idania. You can probably grind there faster, but to do the boss, you need hard requirements. So, 1, you work on Sovereign Offhand and you upgrade it all the way to Tit once you get it. Next up is you switch away from your distos now. You've been benefiting from the sheet AP over Karasats. The problem is that for Idania bosses, you need hard DP requirements as well. So you can no longer afford the minus DP, even if you could survive grinding there. So now you need to switch away from the distos. You can sell them or you can make them into essence, whichever is better value. And then you get Karasats and you go straight to Pin. You can do that by buying 10 dibos if you want to, or make bases and upgrade. It's all up to you. If you can afford it, consider buying a Pin Dibbo and go straight to Nuff. In general, Pin Dibbos is better value, long term, but you miss out on the stat gains along the way. And now when we have the plus 8 AP per upgrade, that is an even bigger loss than it ever was. So even though you save silver, saving up for Pin Dibbos, you're gonna be losing a lot of silver per hour because you're gimping your total AP. So it's less of a viable option, but depending on the situation, it still is. So at this point here, if you can save up, that might be worth it. Then after you get your earrings, get rid of the distos, right? You go Hex Rings plus Hex Belt, and now you're actually 350 AP. All right, so it looks like it's 345, but the difference between my C20 Maneuver and the TED is 5 AP, so you'll be exactly 350 AP with a TED Sovereign Offhand, and I will update this when you're watching it in the future. Right, and after this, it is Tri-Armors, right? You need full set of Tri-Armors, and you're gonna get 12 more DP right on this one here. So you will be now 427 DP, but you need a Hunter's Cloth. There is a few exceptions where you won't need this. One, if we get the AP DP journal, then you're gonna be 427 DP exactly without this, with the gear I'm showing right now. Or if the blue buff works from bosses, and we don't know this at this very moment, so there's a bit of leeway where you might be able to hit these numbers with like one less AP and DP, right? But for all intents and purposes, this here is the goal, and it will secure you being able to do Jardine finally. So yeah, Tri-Armors, and the note is here as well. You want to get a tailoring coupon. If these other things are not happening, like the DP buff and also the journal, you will probably have to buy this, right? You gotta swipe for it. It's the only way. The alternative is getting 10 armors with like 150 more billion silver, right? So start doing your Jardine weekly. This is the big goal. This is the one you guys need to be aiming for. If you're close to this right now, get going, aim for this. It will be a game changer long term, being ready for Jardine. Right, but I decided to go a bit further because I know some people watching this guide are already ready and past this point. So after this, it is just pure numbers, right? At this point, we just look at the spreadsheet. We know what's the best upgrades. I already took care of you. So this is how you do it. You get now finally your Sovereign off spec. So that's Awakening for Awakening for Succession, and then your main hand if you're Awakening build. So your off spec, you get the Sovereign now, you get it to try. The reason we've been neglecting it is because of the 8 AP per sheet. We'll be not prioritizing that. And also it saves the silver to push into the Jardine range. After you get the Tri Sovereign and get your crystals in there, you want to get Ognecht, then Pin offhand, Hex main spec, then Sip rings and belt, and then you sip your main hand. So this right here will bring you to 360 AP, which just so happens to be the next AP requirement for the next boss. And you need 440, right? And you can get that by full tetting your armors, and that's gonna give you, again, I think it's plus 12, right? So now you are 1 DP away, right? So that means you need either 1 Idania armor for that 1 DP, or we hopefully get the 1 AP DP journal, or the boss buffs work. But this here is the closer you're gonna get, right? This is the next goal. And we got one more, again, in terms of just raw upgrade value. So at this point here, you've been grinding Edania. The new drops out in Edania. There's going to be new Lightstone upgrades, new artifacts upgrade, most likely new crystals as well. And you want to be working on these things as well, right? Get those upgrades along the way. You definitely want to be prioritizing it now. In terms of upgrade value, it now becomes ring and belt to oct. Then you go Hex to Sip on earrings, first one, then the other. Then you oct both the earrings, neck knof. You go Hex offhand, then Sip offhand. Then you go Tit off spec, and you oct your main hand, sorry, your main weapon, not the main hand, but your main spec Sovereign, and then you deck the necklace. This right here, super Giga, and because you have of course been doing Jardine boss for a while now, because you remember to do him every week, you can upgrade your gear. That's why I put Pin Boss here. Pin Fallen Guard. It's not actually Pin Fallen Guard, right? You want to be converting your Tet into Idania armors and upgrading them along the way. So you go full Tet, full Pry on all of them, then you move on to full Do, etc, etc, etc. And finally, this is the furthest I was gonna go on these, right? Again, I know a lot of people at Endgame are looking at these also. At this point here, it is the upgrade value becomes rings, earrings, and belt in whatever order you want to do to Nuff. You oct the offhand, you pin the off spec, and then you deck all the accessories. And this right here is, and again, of course, you keep upgrading the Idania armors, but this right here, that is pretty much the gear level. After this, it becomes very obvious you're looking to nuff and deck the weapons, right? So there you have it. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. You can also drop by Twitch.tv/Biceptimusprime. I'll see you all in the next one.